Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector here, and this week I have with me what might be the last model kit in a while, the star-winning Gundam from Gundam Build Fighters. Seeing as how I actually got this one a couple weeks ago, and I've been putting off making this video because of, well, let's just say this thing is very parts-heavy when it comes to parts forming. Yeah. And it's an SD, in a sense. And here it is. Here's the back, and the clear plastic is rubbing on the wood. So it's making this horrible scratching noise as I turn it, because I do not have a turntable yet. And seeing as how it is an SD, going to bring out the the Tri-Burning Gundam. Put it next to that for a size comparison. Now, naturally, an SD is going to be smaller than an HG, but that's where this thing has a couple of tricks. Oh yes, and here's all this stuff. There's the flight mode. I'm going to put it into that. Of course, I'm going to put it into real mode. And here's the actual, I don't know if this was from a Build Fighters or something, but I know it's one of the first Gundams that has an SD and an HG mode in one body. And I know it's based off of the Zeta 2 or 3, I don't remember. But it does that. I think it's from one of the SD Gundam series, but again, I'm not sure. I don't even remember the name of it, because I remember seeing it on the Gundam wiki, and then whoop, I don't remember the name anymore. And also available one-point Technic for painting the head, and build specs for it, and so forth. This was actually the first time I used paint on a model. Yeah, surprise, surprise. And it's actually on the, well, not like the detail lines. I've always done the detail lines since I got back into building these things, but this is the first one I actually used my paint markers on. And I actually got like a gunmetal effect on the sword and gun, incidentally. But instead of making it blue and light blue, I kind of just made it, well, gray and dark gray. Here is the blade and the gun. Here it is in, well, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like an SMG or something, because this does not look like a rifle. Well, it could be a rifle, but it looks more like a submachine gun to me. So, first of all, we're going to put this little thing, gal, whatever, I'm going to put it in its jet mode, and first, I'm going to use this. Put that on it, and next, I actually find it easier to detach the backpack by removing these parts first. And there we go. Well, and of course it falls outside of the abyss, but it still fell regardless. Now these parts will reattach to it. and then just go like this, and then we'll be coming back to that later. Okay, first things first, we are going to remove the V-fin from the forehead. Wow, that was easy. And then flip the cone of the core fighter. Flip that up. I mean, it has been a while, so I'm actually looking at the instructions. Okay, sorry about that short pause there. Basically, you take the legs and just rotate them all the way backwards. Fold these down. Open the little wings on the head. And plug, what the? Yeah. Plug that in there, and then line the toes up. Yep, gonna have to do more off-camera work. Big surprise there. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to get the legs to come together. Because this is starting to be a real big pain in the butt. And it's all happening off camera because, holy crap, this is terrifying. And is that it? Nope, that's not even close. Come on, you little so-and-so. And got it. Not really much of a looker without a stand. So let's see. Okay then. So now, this is going to be made a lot easier now that we've just put it in jet mode, and a lot of the parts have already been, you know, put away, in a sense. We're going to take it apart, sort of. Starting, you know, with that portion. Take apart the V-crest. Yes, that part is actually supposed to pop off like that. Now, the arms actually come apart differently from how they're instructed, and I just peeled off part of the decal, which I need to push back on. I don't actually have my tools with me, so I have to make do with a substitute by using the Gundam's own parts. Okay, that's done. Now, what happens here is this little ball joint is supposed to stay inside the shoulder cavity, but it doesn't. mean, it hasn't bothered me. Well, it does bother me just a little bit because I'm thinking one day something's going to happen. But thankfully I have enough, I do have spare polycaps from a couple other Gundams, so hopefully that won't come back to bite me in the least. And there is the real mode arm. And that waist clip. Now the feet actually do come apart the way they're supposed to in the manual. And here's the leg. I can push stuff a bit further back. You can have room to see it. Now this will be going somewhere else, just not someplace you'd expect. I also still have to disassemble that head, sort of. Working with the head now, this is stuff that has to be done off camera because I really don't want this part breaking. Or parts, in a sense. I mean, the SD mode is cute and all, but I prefer the mode that we're about to see. And those can go on the Core Fighter's wings, either on the inside or the outside. Either way, part storage. Hooray! Convenience! Convenience is always a good thing. Now we work on this arm, the other arm, leaving the torso like so. And honestly, as far as posability goes, since I didn't say anything about it, the SD mode has next to nothing in posability. Sure, the head can rotate, and the arms can move somewhat, but because of the backpack and the whole body size and mass, the legs are next to useless. So most of the posability actually comes into play after it's gone into real mode or HG mode. Either name works, and I will be I don't know if I want to show off the giant shuriken star weapon thing, since that takes up a lot of room. Okay, now this midsection will just plug in here, and the torso is essentially facing backwards, or the lower half is facing backwards. This way is the SD's codpiece, and this is the RG's codpiece. Or not RG, HG. Sorry. RG is real grade, HG is high grade, and real mode and SD mode, it confuses me just a little bit. So, put the other little loop thing on here. So now this piece is done. The arms and legs are done. Head, close to done, but I want to do that after the body is assembled. And this you will push in there so nothing is seen. Then you just kind of reassemble it. Now, the only complaint I have with this in its RG mode, or not RG, see, I did it again. In its real mode, is that the translucent parts on the arms tend to get in the way with the SD head backpack. So you kind of have to swivel them some. And here is the head that was inside the SD head. There is the V-crest, or V-fin antenna, and then it just plugs in. And putting this into its sword mode will, come on, and, oh, there you go. And the sword actually looks in scale and not nearly as out of place in the real mode as it did with the SD. So now, here it is next to the Tri-Burning Gundam, and it's actually taller than the Tri-Burning in this mode. I think it is. Are they the same height? It's kind of hard to tell. But still, my tallest model is the one that I like it and I don't like it. I actually had to create a kickstand with some of its extra parts, and it still has trouble with its waist since, you know, this was the last one that you saw me review. The Lightning Gundam and the Mark II weapon system. I used its long rifle from the Lightning Gundam's direct build as a kickstand. You can see it sticking out on the back right there near the bottom of the screen. Let me move them over. So, I can't display all three of them at once on camera unless I, let's see, try to pull them back. And it's there they are, Team Tri-Fighters. And Hoshino Fumina, or Fumina Hoshino, whichever way you say it, has now joined the group. I still need her first winning Gundam and the Lightning Gundam's Mark I weapon system, which is probably not nearly as unyieldy as its Mark II weapons. But there it is. All three of them together now from the second arc of the series, the tournament arc. And yeah, it was a real great buy too. It was only about $15, and I had fun putting it together for the most part. I think I used about as much ink on this thing as I did the RGM Striker because of all the black lines on it. Had I had some form of yellow paint and metallic green paint, I probably wouldn't have used the decals because the metallic green decals on the legs and what are now the arms do not like to stay on. So if you have the proper color paint, you can use it, and I would suggest painting those in. But that's just me. Also, yeah, just all of the metallic green parts, yeah, you just want to paint those in. The one on the chest was the one that gave me the least trouble, along with the decals on the nose cone that you saw earlier, the what appears to be the cockpit. Now, you can make the, what is that, the tri-burning repair, or what they call the tri-combination, or whatever fans call it. I call it the tri-burning repair, where you have, like, parts from this thing's limbs as the backpack on the tri-burning, the V-fin on it, the shoulder and the leg from the Lightning Gundam, and the 2 boosters from the Mark II weapon systems on the shoulder and the leg, used in the very, not the very last, but the second to last episode. You can actually build that. Now, one of the things that happens in the second to last episode that you can't do quite yet is put the Mark II backpack onto the star-winning Gundam. The little adapter for this thing, the 2-prong that makes it a 1-prong, it's not wide enough to go into the Star-Winning's backpack. And I can show you. Right here. Those 2 holes right there are too wide apart for those to use, or for the, double pin to work. So you can't do exactly what they did in the show when the Lightning Gundam got blown up. Anyway, well, there is a part coming for that, but it's included with the Denial Gundam, because that thing has a widespread backpack too, for use with a a single prong attachment. Sorry about that. So, yeah, there's that part. And as far as what is that? I had it. Oh, yes. You can loop this into the wing. I think I had it assembled differently before, but I was able to, oh no! There we go! By using a bit of friction, you can have the sword in place in the wing between the holding pin and the V-fin from the SD mode. So, there you go. There you have it. Team Tri-Fighters and the very last member of the second group, or the very last Gunpla from the second arc of the series, the Star-Winning Gundam in SD, aerial, and real modes. Later.